Another day, another. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Young Sheldon. This is the 10th episode of the second season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it's available for in the link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in, and enjoy. Last episode, interesting. We actually seen the sacrifices that a parent has to make, and it's tough, isn't it? You know, regardless of your happiness, your lifelong ambitions, your goals, your dreams, you know, you always have to put family first. And you know, George was given the opportunity to go and coach or work or whatever you want to call it at a professional college, you know, football team. Stadium looked massive, the facilities looked amazing, better than his little small hometown high school kind of like place that he's working now. But the trouble is, it was 2 hours away. He wanted to lift his family and take him. However, Mary didn't want it. She didn't want to disrupt the kids. You know, he went round, he was asking the kids would they miss home, etc. You know, I didn't think that he was trying to force them in any way, making the decision to be on his side. He was just trying to kind of get some self-justification, in my personal opinion, for himself, to say, like, you know, if we did move, like, nobody would actually be really disappointed. Do you know what I mean? But he ended up turning it down for the family, and you know, I actually feel really sorry for him. Obviously, all the family was happy. They was all celebrating when he was walking back to his bedroom to get changed. However, you know, I was saying if I was him and I really badly wanted it, you know, I probably would have committed to the 2-hour drive there and back. I know it's effort, I know it's hard graft, but you know, do it for a year, see how it goes. You know, it might be a bit easier, and people that might then, you know, see how much you're really enjoying it, how much it's your life goal, and you know, appreciate it a little bit more, and maybe willing to, you know, sacrifice the move to be with you, so to speak. But at the end of the day, he thought of his family and he chose them, and that's all that they can kind of wish and hope for, isn't it, really? So I feel sorry for him, but happy for everybody else. Thanks for checking out today's episode, though. If you do enjoy it, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode.
They're nice, but you're already taller than John. Won't they make that worse?
Makes it better. He likes me to be dominating.
I don't want to hear that.
All right, I don't have the Sperry loafers in your size, but I do have the Hush Puppies.
I don't wear brown Hush Puppies penny loafers. I wear brown Sperry penny loafers. When we get to the Hello Kitty store today, remember I was the good child.
Well, hi, Mary. Linda, so good to see you.
Hi, Sheldon. Hello, Paige.
Well, at the moment, trying to get shoes for Sheldon, but they only have these, not the ones he likes.
No, I think that brand is the same kind Einstein wore.
I guess I have no choice but to believe you. Can Missy and I go to the Hello Kitty store?
Well, it's okay with me if it's okay with Mary.
It's okay, but you better be on your best behavior. How do they feel?
My brand loyalty is being severely tested.
You know what, right? I got my first ever loafers about 6 months ago. I'm not even joking. Like, literally, like, I mean, I wouldn't expect a 9-year-old to be wearing them, and people are proper brand specific as well, isn't it? You know, I understand this, the good old saying, and I actually do agree in most of the stuff, that if it's not broke, you don't fix it. You know what I mean? So, for example, I've had an iPhone pretty much since they started manufacturing them, and the reason why is it's never failed me. It literally hasn't. You know, I like the technology, I like how it looks, and until it starts failing, it starts breaking, I'm not going to fix it. I'm not going to change to a different brand when it doesn't have to. This one works fine. You know what I mean? And I understand that. My dad's the same with cars. You know, for example, he knows cars are better than Fords. Like, he loves a Ford. You know, he's had other cars in the past, and he always goes back to a Ford because he's like, mate, it's always been reliable. You know what I mean? Like, it's always been there. I've had it for years, never had any issues. Changed to a different one, had issues. Go back to Ford, not had none. And I kind of get it. But as a kid, you know what I mean? You just want the latest stuff. You know, you don't want to wear loafers. You know, you want branded things, or you want stuff that you can go running and playing out. But I suppose Sheldon doesn't do that, is it? So it does fit his personality. It's just strange seeing a little kid in loafers. You don't see it.
Did you guys know Paige speaks 3 languages?
Really? That's impressive.
You only speak 1. Hey, Mom, can Paige sleep over this weekend?
I guess, if her mother says okay.
Wait, where is she going to sleep? In your bed. You can sleep on the couch. Absolutely not. I trust you two will stay quiet throughout the evening and go to sleep at the appropriate time. Absolutely.
Not.
All right, then. I'm okay with it, Mom.
Nice, going out to dinner with your husband?
Ugh, no, girlfriends.
Hi, Sheldon. Hello.
Oh, they're so sweet.
Yeah, life will suck that right out of them soon enough. Well, bye.
Thank you for agreeing to the early bird dinner. When I eat too late, the food just sits right here. When I was in grade school, my nickname was Old Burpee. I'm going to learn to drive.
Really?
Yes.
Well, you're macho enough for me, John, but I would enjoy not having to drive us all the time.
Then it's settled.
You have to do what I say, when and how I tell you to do it.
Hubba hubba. It's like we're back in the bedroom.
Do you know what, right, before we go into that, I've seen somebody on TikTok go for it. I don't even know if I've talked about it in this show before. It might be a different one. But he basically was saying when he come from the United States to the UK to do his driving test, he realised how hard it is in the UK compared to the US. He said, like, when he was in... I'm just going off the video. I've never took one in the US, so I can't say. But, like, he said when you go to get your driving license in the US, all you do is basically get in a car, drive around a little bit, you go in and out of some cones and you do some, you know, like maneuvers around, and maybe you drive for a couple of minutes on the street, and that's pretty much about it. When you come to the UK, you have to do like emergency stop starts, you have to do reverse bay parking, parallel parking, you know what I mean, you have to go around roundabouts, you have to, you know, basically drive on the road a lot of the times, follow loads of signals, you know, you can't undertake, overtake, you know what I mean, you gotta do loads of these different, like, you've got to do a 3-point turn. Basically, you know, compared to the US, our roads are very small, and most of the cars park on the paths so that 2 cars can still get up and down the road, so they're very small. And you have to do a 3-point turn, so where you drive down your side of the road, and then obviously you turn, reverse, and then turn back the opposite direction. Basically in three points. That's what's called a 3-point turn. But he was saying that you do none of that in the US. You just basically just get in, drive around like a course, make sure you don't knock anything over, and kind of just park in a bay, and it's all jobs are good in. So I think that's actually pretty crazy as well, because I think you can get a license at much a younger age as well in the US than you do in the UK. But it seems like we go for it very vigorously compared to you guys. But I don't know. That might not be the case. But that's just a video that I've watched that he said that which I thought was pretty mad.
Did you know that tea was discovered by accident? I didn't, but I don't know lots of stuff.
Was leaving out their little picnic?
Oh, they invited him.
Well, then why ain't you out there?
Eat outdoors. Do I look like a hippie to you?
I thought Paige was your friend.
She's more of a colleague.
All right, I'm just gonna come out and ask it. What the heck is a colleague?
Name of your future pony is Sparkle Sunshine. I would totally name it that. He doesn't know how to have fun. He's an old man. I'm not an old man. Oh yeah? What's your favorite color? Khaki. Inside and play with us. Don't invite him. This is a girl sport, not an old man sport. I'm not an old man. Crazy, it's bedtime. Old man.
Oh no, it's tying his legs together.
We're tying Georgie's ankles together. But he could get hurt if we're lucky. That's when the bloodthirsty goat man, part goat, part man, sink his sharp little teeth into their necks. No. And drink their blood. No. Nonsense is what it is. Old man. I'm not an old man. I'm 10. More like 110. You know, I read that adults who had a stunted childhood often become social misfits and weirdos.
It must be boring though being him, innit?
Well, we know
See what
how
I mean?
the story ends. I grew up to become a well-adjusted and charming fellow. But at that moment in time, she had me worried.
There's ample evidence to indicate that a stunted childhood can cause one to be maladjusted as an adult. That must be why we're friends. We're both stunted.
Sounds right.
How's it going?
I can't tell you. There's no talking. No talking. Sorry.
It's my hope to feel the wind in my hair and be carefree. Okay. Sheldon threw up on me! Sheldon threw up on me!
Transmission in drive.
You have to start the car first.
It's pretty mad that you can just go there and then just get in a car after doing a test. Bazinga. I missed him saying that. He stopped saying it after like 6 seasons.
Yellow light!
It's okay, keep going.
But yellow means slow down.
You can't slow down in the intersection. Keep going.
Are you sure?
Yes, go, go.
To be fair, it wasn't that bad.
Oh, God, oh, God.
There were other cars. There's pedestrians. There was a guy on a bicycle.
So?
That's just too many random elements. The stimuli are overwhelming.
I love you whether you can drive or not.
Oh, you love me.
You love me? Am I allowed to reciprocate? Love you too, Connie. Give me a minute because my legs are a little wobbly.
Is that from the yellow light or the I love yous?
Both.
Mate, you all know that once you're an experienced driver, yellow light means keep going. You know what I mean? It's supposed to indicate slowing down, but it's not. Do you know what's mad as well? Is like in the United States, there's not many manual cars. I mean, there is manual cars, but if you come to the UK, pretty much 80% of the cars are manual. Do you know what I mean? And it's crazy because it's just, like you said, there's a lot of stuff going on all at once, but it's like, once you learn it, it's dead easy. Like if I was starting the car now, I'd turn it on, put the left foot down on the clutch, move it into first gear, lift the left foot up, put the right foot down, and then as you start driving, it's left foot down, left hand. It's literally just, it's kind of like an elliptical. It literally is. Like, I mean, your hand stays the same, but it's your left, it's your feet. Do you know what I mean? Like your left foot goes down and your hand goes up, then you lift your left foot up and your hand off and your right foot down, and then the left foot hand, and it's kind of just going like that with your feet constantly all the time, just changing. You know what I mean? Where in a manual, I actually drive an automatic now, like, because when my car got crashed into, I got given an automatic as a courtesy car. And then when I started driving it, I was like, oh my God, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like how much easier and non-effort this is, you know, like literally, like I said, you consistently moving your left hand, changing the gear in the UK. It would, I'm assuming it'd be the right to change it in the US, and your left leg, you know, you're doing a clutch up and down constantly as you're changing the gear. Where like once I got the manual, it was literally, I could have cut my left leg off and just literally just use one hand and one foot, and then driving around, I was like, mate, I do a lot of driving for work and I go long distances, mate, why have I never done this before? And ever since then, I just bought myself automatic cars. It's just so much easier. It's so much like more chill and less hassle, and you know, you don't have clutch problems. You know, they're expensive, mate. If one ever needs changing, it's expensive. But that was interesting information there. Sometimes you say I love yous in an accidental way, you just blur it out. It's situational based. Something happens, you're like, oh, you know, and she just said it. And it's good that he said it back, but it just got me thinking that I can't remember Sheldon ever mentioning in his older self anything about somebody called John. And if he did, then I do apologise. But like, you know, it's a big thing to say that you love somebody, and he must be in their life for a decent amount, like, and if he's not, then I wonder what happens for them not to be together. Do you know what I mean? Because I can't really see him doing something that can kind of be break up with it. I don't know. I know it's early stages, but yeah, it's an interesting one.
Thank
Please take a piece of gum.
you. What?
Electrocuted.
Please. Bazinga.
I don't know. I guess he's just being a little boy.
They're the fancy kind.
That's a trick can.
No, it's not. Hello. I'm calling to see if your refrigerator is running.
I'll go check. I'm back. It's running.
Well, then you better go catch it. Bazinga. I'm not sure I'm cut out for these antics and shenanigans. I guess you're gonna grow up to be a weirdo.
You got her there. That was perfect placement.
You were faking. Bazinga.
Approaching an intersection, the light was green, but at the last moment, it turned yellow. I didn't know what to do. Should I keep going? Should I stop?
So what happened?
Somehow I managed to make it through.
That's how you tell a scary story.
Do you know what? It kind of makes me think that she maybe accidentally said it. Do you know what I mean? And now she's just like, she's stuck. Do you know what I mean? She's like, she's in that hole already. She can't get out of it. She's just kind of like, let's go with it and see what happens. You know what I mean? Like, because you can say stuff as well. Not that you don't mean it, but like you don't mean it in that deep of way. Do you know what I mean? You're like, oh, you know, I still love you if you've done that anyway. And they'd be like, you love me? I picked that up straight away. I knew he was going to say that. But like, she didn't mean it in the deepest context that he's taking it. Do you know what I'm saying? And now, obviously, she feels probably like she's committed, all in, like overwhelming. It's no longer just having fun anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's like, now the whole dynamic of the relationship's changed, and they're together. Before she was like, we're seeing each other, and now it's like we love each other. Do you know what I mean? Like when they move in and all this stuff, and it's like it might be too overwhelming, and that might be a reason why I was saying there, like, you know, I can't remember Sheldon mentioning John as his older self and the relationship they have with his Mima, because he used to talk about it quite a bit, and I was saying I can't really see him doing anything to make him bickering and blah, 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 blah. But, like, in the context of maybe she's like, look, this is too much, it's overwhelming, it's going too fast. I didn't really, not mean it, but, like, I didn't really want it to be at this stage right now. That could be a relationship preventer ender, do you know what I mean, postponer, and you know, be interested to see what happens, because I don't know if he's going to be in it for a lot, or this season, or next, or whatnot, but I am excited to see it. It's a continuous storyline that we've got going on. I say it all the time, you know, I feel like that's the only established one that we kind of got going now, in a directional thing, a relationship starting and progressing forward, and all the other episodes, keep saying it, are like situational based, which I have no problem with. I like how Paige has been in it a little bit now, you know, a bit continuously as well. It's nice to have a little bit of a recurring character. Billy always makes me laugh, he is pretty funny, but I'm interested to see where Connie and John go now. Actually, I really am. Didn't expect it. We got it. And now let's see the direction we take. Okay, that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So, we are hitting the 10th episode of the second season. It's pretty mad that, innit? You know what I mean? I feel like we're absolutely flying. What's that? 32 episodes into the show completely so far? Mate, it's crazy. And, you know, we haven't really seen anybody really have a progressive storyline other than Connie and John, which is madness. I wouldn't have really expected them, you know, as we started the show, but the love bomb has been dropped, and you know, I'm excited to see where it goes. You know, I said it a few times before, and I don't really mean it in a nasty way, but like sometimes John just gets on my nerves a little bit. However, he didn't in today's episode. I'm just saying, just being open and honest, you know what I mean? Like, I actually do like his character. I just feel like in some situations, I don't know why, just like, you know what Peter Griffin says, you know what really grinds my gears? Sometimes he just does. However, in today's episode, obviously he was learning to drive a car, and you know, the whole stress of that, you know, I thought it was pretty crazy how he could just go in and fill out some forms or do a test, and then he's able to get in a car and just start driving, whether it's provisional, whether it's a learner, I don't really know what you call it, but it's dangerous. That is dangerous, honestly, it really is. Like, to get into a car, just have to fill out a few forms, and driving around, you know, you could easily press, I mean, it's so easy to press the acceleration over the brake and just plow into somebody by accident. Literally, it really, really is. And you know, when I was learning my test, the car that I was in, you know, I was obviously in one side, and I had the pedals, and the driving instructor was in the other side of their car, and they had pedals as well. So, for example, if I was driving too quick, they could brake themselves. Their seat would have its own pedals where they can adjust the speediness of the car. They could press the brake, they could accelerate for me, they could help, they could adjust. Especially like when you're learning a manual car and you've got the clutch, you know, getting that biting point when you're first learning is hard. Like, you stall it all the time, you lift it too high, the car stops, it judders, and they used to put their foot there and lift it up and assist, and you know, go through it. And you know, it's pretty mad that you could go in and just get your provisional and just start driving on the road. But like I was saying there, mate, you know, once you get your driving license and you go in and you're rocking and you're rolling, every amber light means get going through it. You know, nobody's braking, nobody's stopping. However, my experience when I went to the US, it wasn't many amber lights. It used to just, they was high up, and they used to just go red green or green red. You know, there was never that middle section. So it's interesting to say that, because obviously we do have that here. Thanks for checking out today's episode though. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.